Hey, it's Spence from WP Launch Club with your WordPress tip of the day. I've got a wonderful colleague across the pond, Jamie Marsland from Poodle Press, who is in a weird way like the British version of me. He's much nicer, has a much more lovely family. I have boys, he has girls. But we both share an equal interest in bringing out all things WordPress and discussing them for our audiences. He has quite a good growing YouTube channel as well. He recently posted, and I saw his fondness for full site editing. Well, I must say that is where the conflict for today begins, because I think full site editing should go away and never come back in favor of us continuing with the success we have finally achieved using classic themes and Gutenberg blocks and patterns. Now, I don't wish to go back to classic WordPress, but rather when you use a standard set, as I do with Kadence, Kadence theme free, Kadence theme blocks, I'm arguing that is the way that WordPress should go for all things, rather than using full site editing. And when it comes to laying out what used to be done via custom templates, the classic theme and classic blocks, along with the ability to save patterns and save reusable blocks, is all that you need, all that the client needs, and it prevents all of the problems that are happening from the full site editor metaphor, just breaking everything that we've come to know and use and so forth. Now, Jamie laid down some ground rules. I came back with a couple. What are you talking about? We've come to terms. Today I'm going to show you right now classic versus full site editor. He originally said I can't use any classic blocks for the Kadence theme. I said you're being ridiculous because I saw that you used a plugin that put that little home button in the corner. So I'm saying free Kadence theme, free Kadence blocks. You just start a WordPress site, press 2 buttons and you're there, versus a full site editor theme. I don't know what the heck he's using. Maybe it's Spectra. And whatever blocks or things that he's using, as long as it's free, and especially if it's part of a stack set, I'm full in on the Kadence team here. Classic wins. And all of the things that full site editing are irrelevant. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Which one is his? Which one is mine? This is 1. This is 2. This is 1. This is 2. One more time. This is 1. This is 2. They both scroll. They both have the ability to go to a full site blog post page or post page. They both have this cute little button in the corner that's an add-on for either one. Can you tell which one is which? I challenge you. Oh, there's a little clue. Somebody's got a little blank space in their layout. Full site. Now, how did I build it? Let's go to the back end. I installed using, again, InstaWP here because my good friend Vikas has got a great service for those of us who want to demonstrate this, and I can make this available for you guys also to launch your own thing. A clone of this in seconds just to try. Here's all I've got. I've got the following plugins: Kadence starter templates, which actually I'm not even using. I can just delete that, but that comes free when you put in the Kadence blocks. I'm using Kadence blocks, and I'm using that free plugin Floating Button Light just because Jamie did, and he, I think as a gentleman, gave in to, yes, I caught him with his hand in that cookie jar. On the themes, I'm just using the free Kadence theme. You'll notice nothing else in here. No tricks up my sleeve. There's no other special custom code or anything. How did I set it up? Really simple. First thing I did is I created a blog page because I didn't know from Jamie, but I looked at what he did and I assumed that the actual full site pages are just blog posts. Really easy. So I created a page to hold all of those, and I set that using settings general to be the home page. So this is really old-fashioned, straight up WordPress stuff. Actually, I went to settings reading and I said static page, use that as the home page. So if I wanted, I could have had other home pages, but this is just the easier way to go. Next, I went over here and made a second page, which was that contact form, because he had a contact form. This one, let's just get out of the way. All I did was I just put a page in. I had set the Kadence customizer so that the default background was this color that Jamie had so nicely picked out. It looks lovely. And then I just put in the Kadence default text block for an H1, Kadence advanced text for a paragraph tag for contact me, Kadence standard form for a contact form. Done. Easy, right? No big deal. Let's go back and see how I did the posts and then the media inside of the blog page. First of all, in order to have the content, it felt normal to me, because I've been doing this for 17 years, just to make a blog post that represents each of those pages. If I edit any of these, there's really nothing complex here either. All I needed was using the standard Kadence row, which again is free. And then I wanted to go in the section, which I had made full width, and put in the headline of the post, as well as the, in this case, lorem ipsum placeholder. Now, the only thing that was interesting is Kadence out of the box lets you set into the block or into the pattern what the default is. So I use the custom content max width of percentage 100, so it would fill the space. I use the Kadence controls, which I think are way more logical than full site editor, to set this post layout to full width. I went into the Kadence controls for the actual block, and I made sure that I got rid of any extraneous padding and everything else. And then structurally, I also did this one trick, which is very useful for anybody to know. I set the minimum height to 100 vertical height, and that just ensured that the image would fill the screen. Notice, by the way, in my version, there wasn't any gap at the bottom like on Jamie's. Gotcha on that one. By the way, Jamie and I are pals. This is all in good fun. I'm not really poking at Jamie. I want you guys to understand this metaphor makes sense to me. And it's what we've all grown used to. Why? Because number one, I'm working in the regular post editor and making a layout of posts. If I wanted to save this post and reuse it again, I could either use the save this block, right, as a reusable block and just keep using it and spawning new copies, or I could save this entire thing, whatever I've set up here, as a pattern. I could copy all the blocks and I could save it to a separate page, or I could use a free plugin like the Blockmeister plugin, or Kadence has the Kadence Cloud, to just say, this is my blog post layout. I want a full width and all these other things built in. It's all here in front of us. We don't need another layer. Okay, now what else did I do? Let's go back to the blog archive page. That was also so simple in Classic with regular blocks. So let's see what I did. Looking at Jamie's layout, it occurred to me that he basically had a full width page. So similarly, I set a full width page setting here on the Kadence controls. I also, by the way, in the Kadence Classic theme, and this is what I think is so logical, I could go to Appearance, Customize, and just simply control that for everything there. I don't have to do it page by page. So I go to Post Pages Layout, and here I went to Archive Layout, and I could just set this to be default of full width. I could do that for all pages and I wouldn't have to set it individually. And I could do the same, like I just mentioned, for the single post layout, which I think I actually did. So why do we need to dump this? This relationship has been going on now for so long, and it's finally achieved the kind of thing I dreamed of forever. Why would I want to dump this in favor of some new crazy metaphor that goes out of my control? No reason. Plus, there's an infinite array of stuff that already works with the customizer, already works with the metaphor. Why abandon all of that? Why? Why? Okay, just kidding. All right, now let's go back to our layout. You notice, by the way, I'm very animated on this topic because aside from Jamie, Brian Gardner, a lot of folks are doing really interesting things in full site editing, and it's getting me riled up because I've waited so long and tried so hard to get my audience on board with WordPress as a service. Just has one set of features. Stop breaking the features that are working. Okay, back to the row layout after that intermission. Here's where I made this part happen, the scrolling gallery. I just used the out-of-the-box advanced gallery, I think just like Jamie did. I don't know. I didn't see how he built it. I set it up for a grid. I used the landscape image ratio because it looked like those are 4:3. I said 2 columns. I set the gutter to 20 pixels. I used the built-in ability to have a custom link. And I also used the built-in ability to set those little rollovers for the names of the images. And then I uploaded a bunch of content into the gallery, which again is super easy. It lets you drag and drop it in the order, and you can change the titles, or I should say things here, but even easier, when you're inside of Kadence, hello, you just click on it, and I can just type the name here or give the link there. Why do I need to make this so hard when it's already here, right in front of me? Then By the way, I should say for the row layout, because it was 2 columns, Kadence gives me this really easy ability to just, drag left, drag right, change the column width. I just chose 50-50. On the right-hand section, I just had 3 pieces. I put in the advanced text for the headline, and I chose the same Roboto font that was the default that I put in because Jamie chose it. Put in an advanced paragraph and an advanced paragraph with a link. Notice there's a bit of an offset. That was easy with Kadence because each of the individual items, the blocks, have controls right in front of me. There's the 200 padding. There is the section left 120 pixels, top 40 pixels, and so forth. Now, back to my point. If I love this, I want to use this again and again, I can immediately just save it as a single block to reuse it, or save a whole bunch of things as a pattern. So next time I want to do this on a particular archive page, guess what? All I got to do is go in and click it. And if necessary, I can use the particular gallery or other default component to choose a different post type or choose a different source. But otherwise, the layout does not have to go into something separate. And the underlying theme can continue to be universally used for no matter what design. So for example, let's say I don't really love what Jamie did here and I want to change the look and feel. I can use starter templates and drop them in place without breaking my patterns. I don't have to throw the entire thing away and start from scratch like you would with full site editing. I just change the look, the feel, the color palette, and the inside content between the header and the footer is locked into a pattern or a reusable block. Okay, I wish it was more complicated, but it's not. That's it. And that's how I ended up with exactly the same thing he did. It didn't take me 30 minutes. It took me 4 minutes to do the layout because I was copying Jamie. It took me 30 minutes to go manually copy paste all of his images and then pixel for pixel match him. But if I was doing this from scratch and I wanted to do a new site, I would just save these layouts and reuse them on a new website, on a new page, whatever. Because we all know that built into the regular Gutenberg is the ability to copy all blocks, go ahead and let's say we went ahead and made a new page or new post or whatever we did and just paste that stuff right in, right? Like, why do I need a layer to do that? This is Spence. I'll see you on the next video.